Hey, good morning. It's Catherine, and welcome to the Daily One Command. This is a redo of what I was going to be doing yesterday before something completely glitched out. My camera wouldn't work. I couldn't get the um, speak the my microphone to work, and then I had to reboot, and then it was by that time I had to be out the door. So I apologize to everybody that was part of the live yesterday. And I suddenly disappeared. So, what we're going to do this week is normally I'm here Monday through Thursday. This week I will go on till Friday so we can get all four parts in. Okay. And as usual, if you are watching on Facebook or Instagram, please be sure and in the description to like the StreamYard app. You'll in the description at the very bottom, you'll see a little paragraph that says to like the app so that I can see your questions and comments, which are really important to me. Okay. And well, good morning, Miss Lenora. Yeah, she's saying technology is great when it works. And then I got a little ding on my phone last night, and someone said, "Oh, well, I always love your little things." I'm sorry you couldn't finish what you were doing. So I was like, well, thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So here's the idea this week. We have started going deeper on a particular teaching. And what I like to do is to take a quote or an affirmation, we take an idea, and we do a deep dive on it as a part of our one command or daily meditation process so that it can get really deep down into you. Because very often, I don't know if this happens to you, but I love affirmations. I love reading them. I go, oh, look at that picture. Look at the, and then the saying, and you go, yeah, that's true. Then you have that little, and then you go on. Or maybe you save it on your phone, or you might print it out, which back in the day, that was how you mainly wanted to save everything. Um, Clippings or whatever, or you might say, yeah, that one's going on the vision board. But then it really kind of stays this kind of surface level. You never really get to the meat of it, and not just the meat of what the author was trying to say, but into the meat of where you are meeting it personally, and it becomes alive in your own experience. And that's the idea behind these teachings. So this week what we're going to be looking at is the promise of today. Now, in the last week, and we've been talking a lot about reclaiming your power, how to set your intention, right? And today is the promise of today. And I want to ask you, when you wake up in the morning, what is your first thought? Do you wake up and go, yes? You feel rested, you're ready to go, and you're thinking about the thing, you're thinking about, hey, something that's going to happen today that you're looking forward to, or getting something finished. What's on your mind? Or are you waking up with uh bills, I got to make the money, uh, this issue. Like it might even already started creeping into your mind before your eyes were fully awake. Your brain was already kind of working on it. And no matter what you thought about, it wound up taking you back to that negative feeling, that negative state of being. That's what we're going to be talking about today. This is what we want to get cleared up for you. I had a wonderful client, Jerry, who was a dentist, and he contacted me because he wanted to improve his intuition because he was doing some forex trading, and he noticed that he couldn't get over his you know initial resistance. Like he would say, I when they say choose something, pick something, see what pops up for you. Here's the analytics or whatever. And he was like going in circles, and he'd want to do something, but he'd immediately second guess and he'd grab the other thing. And then he would say, the one I wanted was the right thing. And so he wasn't trusting his own mind. His mind was directed towards self protection. It was actually conditioned to not trust himself, right? And to not be a creator. Well, one of the things that he said was when he woke up every day, he just woke up dreading the day. And he knew he was going to have to go to this office. And there's a long story, but he had sold the business, made a lot of money, and within a couple of years had run through all the money that he'd made from that sale of that business that he had worked on for 20 plus years. And now he's having to go back to that same business as an employee. And he was not happy about it at all. But he said he just woke up every day dreading the day. And so we started working on it and it's like, what would the morning look like? Let's just start walking through here. And we started kind of unraveling some of those emotions that were creating the thoughts. And this is the main piece that I want you to get. We always hear that our thoughts create our emotions, and there's a truth to that. But really, what happens is in the initial way that we're born, is we have an experience as a little kid or even as adults. Something happens, we have an emotional response to it, and then we tell ourselves why we had that response, why that thing outside of our power happened to us. And then we set up a way to make sure it doesn't happen again. That's what kids do. And when Asar Lovejoy first developed the One Command, before it was the One Command, it was a program called the Emotion of Money. And so everything comes back to core emotions. And so in just trying to change your thoughts to redirect your emotions is not enough, because what we have are layers and layers of neurology, this neurological firing that's inside our body, it's in our mind, and it's activating our memories. And we have set up a whole routine around it, and we become habituated to limited negative thinking, right? And so that becomes our habit. Our mind says, is that what we're doing? This is what we're up to. And then you want to start making a change, and it feels like everything's going wrong. And then your brain goes, see, I told you you can't have everything you want. Well, what's happening is your old structure is starting to dissolve. You're starting to meet and confront your beliefs. You're starting to be in a new level of awareness of what you've actually created around you. And you are no longer in a trance moving through it, but you're awake, fully experiencing it as you need to be as an adult, so that you can allow it to process, not just process out so it doesn't hurt anymore, but so that the learning, you get the new learning and it's integrated, and that's what starts shifting your thoughts and start creating new realities. Now that's a whole lot before breakfast, I know. But we need to understand that when we see an affirmation that we like and we go, ah, I like that, there's something in you that says, ah, be that. Ah, it's meeting it. The in you, the God in you, is greeting the God outside of you. There's this sign of a potential and a possibility, and a part of you is rising up to meet it. This is an extraordinary thing. This isn't wishful thinking that you're actually having. But what's not happening is that you're not allowing that that recognition to become fully realized within you. What happens instead, very often, is I'm rich, every day in every way. I'm getting better and better every day in every way. And you go, yes, that's true. That's a famous affirmation, one of the first ones ever created. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. And but your conditioned brain goes, yeah, 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 that's good. Yeah, yeah. It would be better and better if we didn't have to pay these bills. Be better and better if you weren't laying next to Bill. It would be better and better if you had a clue about what you were doing. It would be better and better in a different economy. What's meeting is your resistance. And what's behind that resistance is fear. What's behind that fear is pain. And that's what's up for healing. And this is why we want to be able to take time and go deeper on a teaching. Now, the one I'm going to be sharing, this particular affirmation I'm going to be sharing, is from the amazing Ralph Marston, who he's a Texas boy, and he just loves thinking about motivational quotes. He's written some books, and he's a wonderful speaker, and he's just dedicated his life to sharing inspirational thoughts and ideas. Ralph Marston, and look him up. But this is what we want to look at today, this week. And I'm going to read the whole thing for the purpose of the recording. But you can look at it too, and I'm going to add this. I will add this to the description once we're done with the broadcast today. Okay. So here's what Ralph says: the promise of today. How can you be defeated when you still have today? And what could possibly keep you down? Who could dare to hold you back when the promise of a new day looms? The day that lies ahead has not yet happened, and you can make of it whatever you will. You are right here, right now, and everything you need to make this your most successful day yet. Every mistake you've ever made is now in the past. Each one has taught you something. Today is yours, free and clear. The grandest opportunity you've ever known. And the disappointments and regrets that once felt like such a burden now give you the energy and desire to move ahead. Today has more than enough promise, and you can make it yours. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that beautiful? And that is the promise that we have. Very often, when we are looking at the past, we're looking at it uh, usually one of two ways. There's other ways, but there's usually one of two ways. One, we look at it in shame and regret. Oh, I should have done this. Why didn't I do that? Oh, if only this hadn't have happened, I would have been fine now. Or, we're second guessing ourselves. Oh, you fool. You never should have listened. You never should have done the thing. Why didn't you listen? Uh, Guess what? When you're in that mindset, there's you're only going to find everything that went wrong, and you are going to be the cause of it. We're going to talk about that for a second. But then the other way that we can look at it is through nostalgia. Oh my gosh, back in the day, when I was young and fit and beautiful or handsome, when I had that amazing job, when I lived in that fantastic house, when I did this thing and then the other thing happened. And we always have this like longing for what could have been. And of course, we would be feeling that right now. This is actually pretty common because in our day that we're experiencing right now, because from the moment COVID hit, nothing was ever going to be the same again, ever. But things were already changing. And in the spiritual community, we were always saying, hey, there is a big change. Everything we're seeing right now, it's just those signs. It's the birth pangs that's happening. And then COVID, it all went away. And then we just had, now we're still in, I don't know, whatever variation, reiteration of it. And this is going to be part of our reality for a long time. And there's no getting back to anything. Have you noticed that? And there's the only way is forward. Okay, there's only the way is forward. There's no going back. Okay, and so both looking at the past in shame and in nostalgia are both going to stop you, because even if there was something wonderful, one of you had an incredible experience and you had a lot of skills and resources and successes in the past, you absolutely can build on that. You can. But what stops people from building on that is that they go, oh, it was amazing, but then, dun, dun, dun. Excuse me, I got something tickling my nose. dun dun dun, something bad happened. And in fact, I've noticed this in all the sessions with people. They'll be, oh yeah, what's the most money you ever made? Oh, I had this amazing job, or I had this business, this amazing thing happened. But then the bad thing happened. The the betrayal, the disappointment, the failure. There was something that took it all away. The same thing if we look back on shame and regret, and oh, why did I do that? And then we were like a victim of circumstances, and we start getting a lot of um, positive attention for being a victim. Can happen. Or we feel a lot of shame and a lot of blame around that victimhood, and then we feel powerless. And in both of those circumstances, both positive and negative, what we unconsciously believe from that rumination, from those memories, from that state of being, is we project in the future that loss, and we try to avoid that loss, and that stops us. So it doesn't matter if you have happy memories or bad memories. You have to let both of them go. You've got to be able to take in deep a great, you've got to be able to, one, meet yourself. Let me say this. You got to first meet yourself in loving compassion. Because up until now, and in all those times in the past, all you've ever done is your best. You made the best decision that you possibly could. And it either went one way, it either went perfectly as expected, it went horribly wrong, or somewhere in between, right? But you can say you did the wrong things for the right reasons. Okay. And even if you did the wrong things for the wrong reasons, and sometimes we did the right things for the wrong reasons, we have to be able to look at our motivation. But we first got to be able to detach from it. And what you have to do is just meet yourself and own up with it. And I have a 6-step process that I take my clients through called Belief to Creation, where we go, hey, what's happened? What is your belief about that? And we dive into the feelings around that, and we look at what are the rules that set that up, and what are the rules that are stopping you from moving forward. And then we tune into what it was you truly needed. And then you move into being a conscious creator. Now, you can do these steps on your own. It just takes a lot longer because I don't know about you, but even I need somebody to walk me through it because I start going backwards on it. And next thing you know, I'm in a rabbit hole, right? So what can we do? Well, one, you've got to just say, all I have is today. I have today. And I'm going to set my intention that this is my day and I'm going to do the very best I can in it. And hey, what do we learn in intention? Working with intention. What will success look like? At the end of the day, what do I want to be proud of? Tonight, when I'm counting my blessings, what blessings do I want to count? If you want to know what hidden beliefs or fears or doubts are up for you, and I do this in my tarot readings, I go, think of the very best possible outcome and notice what rises up to meet it. Is it, here's the very best possible outcome for my day? And do you rise up and go, yeah, let's do this. Let's make this happen. I'm on it. Or does something rise up and go, you tried that before, and or who's going to buy it? Who's going to do it? Who's going to listen? What makes you think you could do it? And a lot of people stop at that point. And that is actually the beginning, because that's when we're working with the statement of the one command, we are rising. The greatness in us is starting to speak. Remember when I said we see that affirmation, we go, that. Well, that you're meeting, that thing that you're seeing, like you said, affirmation, something rises up and goes, yeah. That God is meeting God, right? That creator meeting the creator. We want to connect in to that creator in you, so that you can meet bigger, greater idea that your greater intelligence is saying this is your birthright, this is your possibility, so that we can meet it positively, open, with an open heart and a free heart, so we have nothing between us and what we desire. One command, and we say, I don't know how. When I look back on this day, I know I've had an amazing day. I only know I have an amazing day now, and I am fulfilled, right? So if we're looking at the lens of like the first belief, and if you've been following for a while, thank you, Donna. I appreciate it. Good morning to you, by the way. Yes, this makes so much sense. I need to hear this today. What could possibly keep you down? Who could dare hold you back when the promise of a new day looms, right? So we're going to do a command around there's nothing. I don't know how. I absolutely know and trust that there is nothing that can stop me. I only know that this is my day. Now we could simplify that. I don't know how I absolutely claim this day as my own. How about that? Doesn't that feel more powerful? I only know that this is my day, and I choose to make it a great one. Let's do that. Let's see what rises up and meets that. Okay, we're going to go through the 6 steps of the one command. First, I want to invite you to just feel your connection to the earth and ground. Picture, visualize or imagine that you're like a tree and you have long energy roots connecting you to the earth. And in your mind's eye, just watch all of those bad memories and the bad feelings with them, those hurts and disappointments, and all those little stories that you have told others and told yourself about your life that keep you stuck. Hey, does it look like little books that went down? Does it look like little cassette tapes, or are you seeing a direct download? How are you seeing that represented of all those stories that you've told yourself being released and let go into the earth? And now, just allow that beautiful earth energy to dissolve and break down and transform all of that energy, keeping your positive intention, bringing that energy back up, up, up those same roots up through your feet, into your knees, into your hips, bringing that energy up, up, up into your body. There we go. And this is the creative life force energy. As you bring, pardon me, as you bring your attention to your heart and you align with your intention to be a conscious creator. Just taking a breath, breathe in through your nose, and as you release through your mouth, go, ah. There we go. That ah in you is meeting the greater ah in your world. Ah. And in the space in between, let there only be love. And that's all the good that you would hope for yourself and others. That's the creation of an amazing life that not only creates joy and happiness and meaning for you, but you are living it to a degree that it creates joy, happiness, and meaning for others. And in this space between and in this space, and that's filled with love, there's everything you could ever want, need, or desire. Eyes closed, very lightly lift your chin. With your eyes closed, roll your eyes up as if you're trying to look up through the top of your head. And just send your consciousness up, above the earth, out beyond the outer edges of the galaxy, out to the outer edges of the universe. And soon you'll find you're surrounded by the beautiful, velvety, black void of space. And instantly you break through the darkness into the light of pure, open potential. Here's our command. I don't know how. I absolutely have the power to make this a wonderful day. I only know I am claiming this day as my own now. And I choose to make it a great day. And I am fulfilled. Let that go. And now there's going to be one that rises up. That's your particular, hey, this is what I need today. This is what I want to create. So I don't know how. And state what you want. I only know it's so now. And I am fulfilled. And just let that go. Let that expand out to an idea even greater that serves more good in its fulfillment. And we're just going to start to just receive with gratitude this whole new attitude, this greater state of being within you that is meeting you, the master that you already are, that is aligning with you, that is you. And to start receiving that in gratitude. Everything you need is already within you to create an amazing day. And as you create this day, you realize that you can create anything, that you can meet whatever arises in this day in confidence, in trust, in the fullness of your creative power. Most of all, in love. And of course, now we're just going to let whatever is not in alignment with that, as this greater state of being arrives, just let all these old thoughts, this habit of being, just let it go, let it go, let it go. And now we're just going to allow this new idea, this greater potential, this greater aspect of yourself, this greater awareness of yourself, of how great and powerful you truly are, and how it is you who've had the power all along. Let these new ideas start to rewind and integrate. And then we always say do an internal check-in, right? Think about what you believed about the day. When you think about your day now and your ability to create your day, what do you know now? One, I would say, is you've got to make it a choice. You've got to make the decision and then make the choice to create a great day. And there's a affirmation that I was taught as a hypnotherapist, that there's nothing in my life, nothing seen or unseen, real or imagined, in my past, my present, or can ever arrive in my future that can stop me from having, being, or doing whatever I want. Isn't that amazing? There is nothing in my life, real or imagined, seen or unseen, past, in the present, in the future, or anything that I could imagine in the future that can stop me. What an amazing idea. And that means, hey, is everything going to go exactly as you expected? Maybe not. Are there going to be some disappointments? Maybe. But you're not going to, the only reason those are showing up is because you're taking action, right? And what if you set the intention for certain markers? Remember setting intention? What if you started setting markers for this is how I would know I was on the right track? So if you were creating your day, what would it look like? But then what would be some of the evidence? What would be some of the markers? Make note of that. You know, Jerry, who I started talking about at the beginning of this, he started gradually reporting that one, he was sleeping better. He was waking up and maybe not like raring to go every day, but he was, first it just started, it was quiet, and he just was able to just kind of look out the window and see the beauty of the place he was living, and he got up to have coffee and he was just enjoying his coffee more. And then he started waking up and he was like hearing this teaching and getting ideas and inspiration, or if something would say go do this today, and he would follow faithfully that. And it really was a process. And one of the things that happened was, that was one of the markers, was he just felt like it was a miserable life and everybody was grumpy. Well, people started commenting on, hey, what's going on with you? You must be, oh, you got a new girl? What's happening? Right? And they just started noticing that he was generally happier. And then he started seeing kindness in the world and goodness. And then he said an amazing thing happened. I was at a coffee shop and there was a little incident. And he said, I realized there was a time I might have blown that up and it would have ruined my whole day. And I probably would have ruined everybody else's day around me. But instead, somebody stepped up and was kind to me and helped me, or kind of brought, they brought in something different. And he said the world started meeting him from, not like this guy's a problem, but started meeting him as someone who was worthy and loved. He said, out of everything. And then of course he started trusting that and seeing his own value and worth. Guess what? What happened to his intuition? What happened to his ability to do these day trades? He was able to raise the price on his dental services, and he started getting a whole different level of client. That he was in the UK, and so a lot of it was UK rates that he got paid. He started being able to do specialized work for people who wanted to pay for it. And his income and his relationship with his parents healed. I mean, it just was incredible what happened. And I think we worked together about 3 months. But it all started with how he wanted to meet the day. So how are you want to meet your day? Of course, we always say you want to write a journal, keep your notes so that you can see where you've gone, or you can start recognizing those repeating patterns. 7th step is inspired action. Hey, you get an idea or inspiration, just go for it. Don't put it off. Say yes right now. You get an idea to call somebody. Don't say, well, first let me get everything prepared and, like spend 2 or 3 weeks. I have somebody that they keep talking about these letters they want to write people. And it hadn't happened yet. Do it as quickly as possible. Make that phone call. Make that phone call. Send that email. Reach out to that person who kind of glows up and lights up on Facebook or LinkedIn. Go for it. This is your day. All right. And I hope that this has been useful. On that, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. So until next time, this is Catherine Perry, the Big Vision Coach, and I witness your mastery. Bye-bye, everybody.